Be of good cheer. It is I. Be not afraid.
Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water.
Come.
Lord, save me.
O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt?
Of a truth, thou art the Son of God.
Impossible goals can be brought into perspective through faith. See, most people don't know that when they use the word stress, they really mean distress. Distress is the feeling caused when there's a need to perform, accompanied by a perceived lack of ability. They also don't know the other stress word, eustress. It's the opposite of distress, a combination of euphoria and stress. Eustress is the feeling that comes when there's a desire to perform accompanied by a confidence in one's ability. See, with distress, the perception is of impending failure. With eustress, it's of certain success. Distress can cause a depletion of energy, compulsive behavior, which actually increases the probability of failure. A general sense of discouragement and eventually depression. And to sum up distress, it makes me feel like I have to perform, but I'm afraid I can't. On the other hand, symptoms accompanying eustress are a wellspring of energy, a propulsive behavior, a sense of well-being and confidence, which improves the probability of success. And, of course, an intense desire to succeed. In other words, I want to perform, I believe I can. You see the difference. Peter experienced both of these feelings when he stepped out of the boat onto the Sea of Galilee. Initially, seeing the Lord walking on water was a shock, but Peter's childlike faith caused him to want the same experience. Lord, he said, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water. Come, replied the Lord. Before he had time to think, Peter was out of the boat and on, not in the water, he was on it. So imagine that feeling. I want to and I can. That's eustress. It's what Peter experienced those first few steps on the water. It's the same feeling the conditioned athlete gets before taking a crucial shot at the end of a close game. It's the feeling an experienced salesperson gets when moving to close the sale. It's adrenaline and endorphin all in one. But then Peter looked around at the impossible situation he was in and suddenly felt the feeling change to distress. Now it was, I have to and I can't. You see, Peter could have focused on the Lord's promise to him for one step at a time. He could have even swam back to the boat, but in distress, one often acts compulsively, not thinking clearly. Peter yielded to his fears. He began to sink and he cried out, Lord, save me. Of course the Lord did, but then he reprimanded Peter. You have little faith, why did you doubt? It's easy to laugh at Peter, and we forget that until that night no one had ever walked on water. And of the two who did, one was the Son of God, who created the water they were standing on. But for the other, there was no experience base, personal or otherwise, nothing to fall back on to build its confidence with. There was only the voice of the Lord saying, come. It required a big step of faith for Peter. His fear of failure was simply too strong to be overcome by his fledgling faith. And the more I think about Jesus and Peter on the water, the more I realize a good portion of my life has been lived like Peter's night on the sea. Listening to the voice of the Lord saying, come. See, had I had this man's experience in trusting the Lord, I could have walked across the Atlantic Ocean. And I believe what we all need to understand is reaching too quickly for an impossible dream can produce the distress that promotes compulsive, defeatist behavior, making failure the likely outcome. By taking the time to let your experience catch up with your dream, by biting off and digesting small pieces, can actually bring it within reach more quickly. And just as our experience in achieving smaller goals brings the big ones into perspective, so our experience trusting God in the little things build the faith to trust Him more. You see, He gave us the faith to be saved. Now, as we turn more and more of our lives over to Him and trust Him for the outcome, we're building it into the faith to walk on water. Like everything else in life, it only improves with practice. So our response when asked, how in the world do we survive? It's by the grace of God, one day at a time. My friends, we know we can never meet the challenges we face with our own strength. But through the experience we have, developing the faith to trust God for the outcome, an impossible goal brought into perspective through faith. Notice what Jesus said to His disciples when they saw Him walking on the water. "It is I, do not be afraid," John 6:20. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear, wrote Mark Twain. See, the only way to master fear is to abide in the one who is master over every circumstance. And I hope you enjoyed this short message. Please do remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you wish to donate, a donation link can be found below for PayPal in the description. And until next time, God bless you. Please be safe. Thank you.